and welcome to a new video. My name is Kirsi and I got into art school. Hooray! And today I'm going to talk about my art portfolio and my experience in the art exams. So I want to start by saying that every art school is different, and this is only my experience and the experience in my country, which is Finland. Every application method is different in every country and specific in every art school. So what I'm telling now in this video might not apply into your school. But if you are trying to apply into art school, this might be a little bit helpful, I don't know, so you get some ideas and something to think about from my experience. In Finland the education is free, so I think that is affecting to the process how you get into art school. Not only you send your portfolio, in addition to that you have to, if you get invited to the exams, you have to participate in them, and only after that you will know if you get in or not. So in Finland, I think in most schools you don't get accepted by only your portfolio. You only get accepted into the exams or not. And around 600 to 700 people are applying into one art school, and then from that amount of people only around 60 get into the exams. So there is a huge cut based on the portfolios, and then if you get lucky and get into the 60 people that are invited to the exams, in there from around 60 only 20 to 25 gets into the school. So the competition is really hard, and many people have to apply many years. This was the second year for me that I applied, but I was decided that even though I wouldn't get in this year either, I would apply again next year. But luckily I got in, and I am really happy that my effort paid in. Okay, so let's get into the portfolio. I'm gonna go through that first, and after that I'm going to go through my experience in the exams. So I'm going to scoop here so that all the photos of my portfolio can fit over here. The first piece in my portfolio was a portrait. I participate in a portrait class here to practice drawing and painting humans, because that was a subject that I was lacking experience a lot, and this one was my last piece in that course, and I was pretty pleased about it, so I wanted to put that in my portfolio to show maybe that I understand the basic forms of human face. And this piece is a little bit older one, but if you have recently made already pieces, you can submit at least in here into your portfolio. So this one is an older piece that I did in my previous art school, and I really love stormy weather, and I was trying to find something new, something exciting from the feeling when it gets stormy, and I just love painting clouds, so I wanted to include this one. This one is also a little bit older piece that I included into my portfolio. The reason why I like this painting is because you can turn it around and it gives you new meaning every time, and I think there is a lot of symbolism, but also every time I look at it I think something new. The painting is not perfect, but the idea is there, so I really wanted to include this painting as well. And this is my self-portrait that is really important for me. It is about how I, as an artist, I am putting myself out there, so it feels like I'm naked to the public eye, but then again I have this feeling to put a mask in front of my face, that I'm not truly showing everything, and it is this play between the covering yourself but being totally open at the same time. It is very many layered and hard to explain, but I hope you get the basic idea of the self-portrait. And this one is actually the one in the background also. It's called Lucifer's Garden, and it's the biggest painting that I have ever done. I had this dream when there was a hatch on the floor, and I was told that that is Lucifer's place, that the Lucifer lives in under that hatch, and I shouldn't go there. But of course I did go there, but instead of all the horrors that I was expecting, there was this beautiful garden under our house, and it wasn't only just pretty and beautiful, there was something off about it, but the basic feeling that I got was the surprise that there was a garden at all, and I immediately wanted to paint that feeling and what I saw into that dream. And this painting is kind of a mess. There is two paintings underneath. First one was also a stormy cloud painting that you can see a little bit in the corners, and then I wanted to make this gradient of sunset, and then that idea tried out. I didn't like it at all, and then one night I got this urge to paint a portrait, and I just started to paint over that also. So I painted and painted, and just for some reason I didn't feel like putting in the eyes, and it felt that I don't want to continue the painting anymore, and I was quite happy how it looked. The name is Watching the Sunset, but the girl does not have eyes, so the sunset is kind of bleeding through the holes of her eyes, so I think that was quite interesting. And then I thought I cannot submit only paintings, although painting is what I love to do. I thought that to bring a variety I needed to show some drawings as well, so this is one that I submit. Again, I love painting clouds, and one time I saw this cloud which looked like from explosion, you know what I mean, when the smoke piles up in this form, but it was a cloud, so it was really interesting, and I started drawing that. And then suddenly I didn't have idea what to draw into the foreground of the piece. Then I just thought, what would it look like if it was explosion? So I draw these cracks, so the ground or ice would have been broken off and there would be water underneath. So there is this decision that the watcher can decide, is it the cloud or is it explosion, and yeah. And then I submitted my drawing slash painting from Croquis, life drawing, and in here I wanted to show that I'm studying drawing from life but also experimenting at the same time. So it's not very traditional life drawing. I have experimented with color and form within. And this one is my last piece, and again I wanted to introduce something different, so this is mixed media piece. I glued some photos into the paper, and I used inks and acrylics and pencils, and it created this abstract art. And this was the last one, so my portfolio included total of 9 different artworks. And this was the portfolio that I submitted in the art school, and based on that I got into the exams. And in many Finnish art schools the exam lasts 4 to 5 days, and in this specific school it was from Monday to Thursday. And with each day you had a different task. So in Monday we had to paint a still life painting. I will put my submit into here. And each day we had around 4 to 5 hours to finish our own work. So in Monday we had a big pile in the middle of the room that had different kind of strange objects, and then there were easels around the still life, and we would pick a place for us to work and paint what we saw. And for some reason we are not allowed to use oil paints during the exam, so I was using acrylics, and it definitely held me back a lot because I love painting oils and I don't have much experience with the acrylics. But I did what I could, and I got most points from this, so it did well. And in Tuesday it was sculpting, and I am really embarrassed to even show my submit because I hadn't sculpted in maybe 3 years, and I wasn't expecting that sculpting could be something that we have to do during the exam, so that one caught me by surprise and I was not prepared, and it shows in my submit, and I got the least points out of this one, and I totally understand why. And the subject was also really interesting. It was third dimension, and first of all it took me a lot of time to even figure out what could the third dimension be and what should I sculpt from that subject. And I should have gotten just abstract and making different forms, but some reason my thought was baby's head, and this is it. I hate this piece, but I wanted to show that because even if you fail in some parts of the exams, that doesn't mean automatically that you don't get in. So even though I was so frustrated about this piece and it was the second day of the exams, I still decided not to panic and give up, and there was always another day and another task that I could do better. Oh, and also on Tuesday we had interviews that the teachers talked with us for 10 or 15 minutes, I don't really remember, but it was a very short time, and I had to tell about myself and why I'm applying to the school and what I want to get from it, and just the basic stuff, that what drives me and why I want to do art. And Wednesday was performance day, but luckily that was optional. You could do either performance or you could do a separate art piece, and the subject was civilization. And I am not a performer. I haven't done it almost ever. In my previous school we had one course about it, but it was super uncomfortable and I didn't feel like doing the performance in the school, and I wanted to show what I do best, and that is painting. So I did this work, and I did it like this because I was thinking about the culture of social media and what we see for example in Instagram, of these selfies and all the partying and drinking and beautiful edited women and men. So I wanted to make a painting about that side of the word civilization. But I don't really know why, but they didn't like this piece at all. Aside from the sculpting, I think this one was also one that I got the least points out of. They don't say why, they just tell about the points. But I don't know, I think, in my opinion, I really like it and it represents that side of human culture a lot, so I'm not mad about that artwork. And then on top of that task we had an evening task. So after we have done the work in the exams, we had to go back to our hotels or friend's house, wherever people stayed in. And before we left, we were shown this video and we had to make our own association from that video and make our own art piece from that. And the YouTube video which was shown was actually from Nick Avocado, and it was the video where he ate pizza and cried. And we watched the video around 1 to 2 minutes and it was replayed a couple of times, and then we were sent off to make our own artwork from that. And I was playing with different kind of ideas, but I ended up with this one, and I was just trying to figure out different kind of reasons why he was crying. And what caught my eye in the video was the huge piece of folio underneath the pizza. We don't have in Finland. We just have the pizza in the box. We don't have any folio underneath or anything else. So that folio caught my eye, so I was playing this idea. Maybe he was crying because the pizza was so good, but he was also wondering where the folio is going to end up. And with that I was also thinking about the landfills, how the land is full of rubbish but it's covered with grass. So many people that drive by, they only see the green grass and they don't even realize that there is mountains of rubbish underneath there. So I was playing with these two ideas and I made this mixed media piece about the landfill, that in the back you can see it is full of rubbish. I was cutting actually different pieces of rubbish and gluing them on the paper, and then the rest of it I painted with acrylics. And that was my association from the video. And during the last day, which was Thursday, was a live drawing day. So we had a model in the middle of the room and again easels going around the model, and we have to draw with charcoal what we were seeing. And this is my drawing. I was quite pleased about it. It was a while since I had done croquis before, so I was a bit scared that how I'm going to do, but I was quite pleased with the end result. Of course there is these little things that I would pay more attention to and some proportions that are quite off, but overall I got pretty good points from this as well. And that was my portfolio and experience in the art exams. I know this video was a bit long, but I hope you got something from it. And I am happy to share my experience from the exams and also remind that even though in your portfolio or in your exams there is a couple of pieces that are not your best work and you are really disappointed on yourself, don't ever give up in the middle of the exams or making your portfolio. Just finish on the high note and do your best. But if you stuck through this whole video, I thank you so much for watching, and my school starts during the fall, so I will definitely do videos about my life as an art student, and in addition to that I will also make my art time lapses and stuff like that. So I will see you next time. Bye!